All right, yo yo. What's up, everybody? Right now we are doing some New York City mayor coverage. Final polls have closed. We got the live results up here. We've got Zoran Mamdani currently in the lead with 43.8% of the vote. Um, Really solid start for Zorhan, who even a few days ago was looking like he might not be doing so well in the election. He's had a massive surge in the past few days, and now he is the favorite to beat incumbent Cuomo. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of this stuff. Let's see some of the stuff about how
If you or a
the
loved one was
turnout for
sexually
Mom
abused,
Donnie has been. Mom Donnie again, very, very, very surprised candidate when it comes to how well he's doing.
Candidate running for mayor of New York City appears to be surging, according to tallies of early and election day voting in the city. The race is being closely watched, not just inside New York City, but around the country, as different factions of the Democratic Party fight for control. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was once the clear frontrunner, but he's facing a fierce challenge from State Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani, who describes himself as a Democratic socialist. Joining us with the latest, Michael Pruser, Director of Data Science here at Decision Desk HQ. Michael, everyone is watching these early and election day numbers that are coming in New York City. What do they tell us about where in the city turnout is high and which candidate that could benefit?
Yeah, right now the early voting is certainly something that Mamdani is enjoying. His base is largely located in Brooklyn and the downtown Manhattan area. Both of those places have very high turnout early on. Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, not so much. So, in
Okay.
terms of the early turnout perception, Mamdani has to love where he is. He came into this race as a severe underdog at the start, has been able to kind of coalesce all of the support from non-Cuomo candidates, and he's right now he's got a really good shot. It's a toss-up race the way we see it.
What has the latest polling been telling us about the state of the race?
Yeah, no, Mom Donnie's been a big surge, and yeah, we're gonna have to watch this because I think this is what's gonna really shape like what the Democrats' message uh, is going to be in the presidential race. I think this is going to be a big determiner of whether or not we get a more left wing Democratic Party or a more to the center um, business as usual Biden Kamala wing of the party continuing. Let's go watch the some of the stuff involving the debates. Um because I heard that there was some insanely good exchanges between Zorhan and Cuomo in the most recent debate.
Good evening. Welcome to the final Democratic primary debate in the race for mayor of New York City. I'm Errol Lewis, political anchor for Spectrum News New York One, and we're coming to you from the Gerald W. Lynch Theater at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, located on the west side of Manhattan. I'm joined by Brian Lehrer of WNYC Gothamist and Katie Honan of the news organization The City. The candidates have been making their pitches to New Yorkers for months now, and we are only hours away from the start of early voting across the 5 boroughs starting on Saturday.
Over the next 2 hours, you're going to hear from the 7 leading Democratic candidates on their proposals on issues directly affecting the lives of New Yorkers.
Actually, one interesting thing when it comes to this election is this is ranked choice. So let's say you really like 3 of the people up here. You can rank Zorhan as your number 1, and if he loses, your vote then goes to your number 2, then your number 3, then your number 4, and so on and so on. So we might also see a ranked choice really coming into play when it comes to uh exit polls, these numbers might flip around. So don't keep these as like your full base. But yeah, no, I mean, we're looking, Zorhan is pulling out a pretty impressive lead against Cuomo. And Cuomo was at one point one of the more popular Democrats.
A reminder that the mayoralty is currently held by Eric Adams, who has withdrawn from the Democratic primary and is running in the November general election as an independent candidate. Tonight's debate is brought to you by the New York City Campaign Finance Board, the city agency that administers the Public Matching Funds program. It's also sponsored by Spectrum News New York 1, WNYC Gothamist, and The City, and Spectrum Noticias. And our co-sponsors are John Jacobs.
Look, there's only so interesting I can make politics, unfortunately.
College of Criminal Justice, the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at CUNY, the Center for New York City and State Law at New York Law School, and the Museum of the City of New York. And you can watch tonight's debate without a paywall on ny1.com. It's also being broadcast on NYC TV, WNYC Radio, the Spectrum News YouTube page, and C-SPAN, and in Spanish on Spectrum Noticias and YouTube.
The candidates joining us tonight have met a polling or fundraising threshold established by the...
Okay, I don't care.
Will generally be
Thinking about...
I don't care. I want to get to the exchanges that we saw in this.
with a chance for rebuttals at the discretion of the
that Donald Trump's
comptroller and Manhattan borough president. And Whitney Tilson is a former hedge fund manager who helped create Teach for America.
Now for the rules. The rules that you see on your screen right now have been agreed to by all of the candidates. Each candidate will deliver an opening statement of up to 45 seconds. Answers to our questions will generally be limited to 60 seconds, with a chance for rebuttals at the discretion of the moderator. And candidates will have an opportunity to ask one opponent one question during our cross-examination round. We're going to begin with opening statements. The order was determined by a random drawing this morning, and so we'll begin with Scott Stringer. Good evening.
Well, good evening. Look, I love New York City. I was born and raised here, and I believe the future of this city can be limitless. But let's face it, people are feeling that it's getting tougher to live here. People who built our neighborhoods are leaving the city. Young people who want to lay down roots here do not see enough opportunity. I say enough is enough. We need a mayor who has experience. We need a mayor who has competence, and a mayor who has a vision to build affordable housing, to enact universal child care, to build a public school system so that kids can thrive. I've seen the best of this city in every neighborhood as controller, as a borough president, as a state legislator. And I know that right now, at this moment, we need somebody who has the ability to make sure this city can rise again, and I'm going to do it.
Okay. Next is Elnor Myrie.
This morning, I was on Flatbush Avenue getting my hair cut so I could be fresh for this debate. And one of my constituents walked in and didn't talk to me about politics. She said, "What are you going to do to fight for immigrants like me and my husband?" I got on the train as I left, and I ran into a mother who said, "What are you going to do to fight to help make our schools world class?" So here's the thing. You're going to hear a lot of promises, a lot of nice and cute things on the stage tonight. But when you put your head to the pillow, you want a mayor that is going to fight to keep your family safe, fight to keep that roof over your head, and fight to give you opportunity. I know that because that's what I think about every single day. And I'm ready to put the gloves on as the next mayor to fight to make that a reality.
Thank you. Next candidate is Whitney Tilson.
Good evening. I'm Whitney Tilson, and I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman and philanthropist, and I entered this race because I love this city, but right now it's a mess. It's not.
So you're rich and you want the taxes to be lower. That's what I'm hearing so far.
Talent that we lack. We've got the best and brightest. Nor money. We spend double that of any other city in the world. It's leadership, and we can't afford amateur hour in City Hall anymore. It is rightly said that being job of mayor of this complex, enormous city is the second hardest job in the world. That's why we need a mayor who's experienced, competent, and can get things done, not a social media phenom with cute videos. Someone who can balance the budget and make tough choices, not pie-in-the-sky promises that there's no realistic plan to pay for, and someone who will keep us safe by ending chaos, not inciting it, by supporting.
Damn. Look at the Mamdani lead right now. Yeah, no, this isn't even close. This is not even close, dude. Holy.
Supporting law enforcement and by not threatening to defund and dismantle our police. I will be that mayor, and so I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
Okay. Our next candidate is Adrienne Adams.
Thank you very much. My name is Adrienne Adams, and I'm running for mayor because I'm an everyday New Yorker, just like all of you are. When I open my front door, I see what every New Yorker sees, and that is we are in need of a change. I raised 4 children in Southeast Queens in the same home that we live in. I buy my own groceries, so I know the costs of groceries for everyday New Yorkers. Look, as the leader of the city council, leading the most diverse city council in the history, led by a women majority, I realize what leadership truly is. I'm already doing the job. I have successfully negotiated 3 city budgets. I'm now in the middle of negotiating my 4th city budget. I continue to lead and step in where our current mayor has not, where we have fought through the city council budget cuts. We have saved public libraries and pre-K. I'm Adrienne Adams, already doing the job, asking you to rank me #1 to be the first woman mayor of the city of New York.
Next candidate is Brad Lander.
If you watch, really solid choice. She has a lot of Kamala vibes, though. Even if Zorhan doesn't get it based off of the number of people ranked, I don't see this changing to any super noticeable degree. Yeah, no, I lean to Mamdani still taking this. And yeah, no, so far polling is showing that being the case.
Watch last week's debate, you already know I'm not the flashiest candidate in this race. I don't have a famous father. I'm not the best at TikTok. My daughter's here. All her videos do better than mine. But I love this city. I believe in its future, and I know how to make government work better. As controller, I've saved taxpayers over $2 billion, canceled corrupt contracts, managed the pension funds to record highs. I've built or saved over 50,000 affordable homes. As mayor, I'll deliver 500,000 more. That's why today, the New York Times opinion panel said, I'm the best choice for mayor. I've got the public integrity that New Yorkers deserve, the progressive values that New Yorkers share, and the management chops to deliver on them.
Next is Zohran Mamdani.
My name is Assemblymember Zohran Mamdani, and I am running to make the city affordable. I'll freeze the rent for millions of tenants, make buses fast and free, and deliver universal childcare. And before you ask, I'll pay for it by taxing the rich. The same billionaires who put Donald Trump back in the White House, the same ones who are funding Andrew Cuomo's campaign. Like many New Yorkers, I wasn't born in this country, but I grew up in this city, and it's one that we're in danger of losing. We're under attack from authoritarianism from the outside and an affordability crisis from the inside. Yet if you turned on your television 20 years ago, you'd have heard the same tired, failed policies you'll hear from politicians tonight. It's time for a new generation of leadership, and that's exactly what my campaign is building. A movement of more than 36,000 volunteers who have knocked on nearly 1 million doors and left us just 2 points away from City Hall. So join us, and let's win a New York you can afford.
Next is Andrew Cuomo.
Good evening, and thank you all very much for having me here today. I do have a very famous parent who I'm very proud of, Matilda Cuomo, and I hope she's watching. Everyone has a plan, as you've heard. Everyone always has a plan. That's always the way. But the question for tonight is, who has the ability to get the job done? That's really.
By the way, Matilda Cuomo was an advocate for women and children, as well as the First Lady of New York. She was married to Mario Matthew Cuomo, who was the former governor of New York. So he comes from a line of people in government.
Really the question. Who can build housing? I built housing across the nation as HUD secretary. I built LaGuardia Airport, Kosciuszko Bridge, 2nd Avenue subway. and more. Who can do public safety? While my colleagues were defunding the police, I was adding more police. Who can manage the city? I manage the state that has double the budget of New York City. And who can take on Donald Trump? That is the big question. And he sent troops into cities all across this country, but he never sent them into New York when I was there, and he never will when I am mayor. A job looks easy when you haven't done it. Experience matters. I will get the job done. I will work for you 24/7.
You also have so many sex fucking complaints that, like, I don't think an HR fucking manager would let you through. Let's be real here. Also, yeah, no, dude. Zorhan is still leading by a fucking massive amount. I think we're probably going to see Zorhan Mamdani declared winner by end of the election.
Thank you for your opening statements, Ken.
Let's see if there's any big new updates.
Who thought and still believes that she could be the first woman mayor of the city of
Okay, that's Adrienne Adams. We're going to go now to Jumaane Williams, who's addressing his supporters. Let's listen to that.
To step forward, for instance, Federal Founders said the people with more privilege have to step up and take more risk. So while I am thankful for all of the people who came and voted for me, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, Cuomo's finished.
For re-electing me. But I think even Brad will agree that what we're most proud of is Andrew Cuomo is down right now. The Democratic...
Okay, bit of a reminder there that Jumaane Williams, who has declared victory, and we have called it for him, he will, in fact, get another term. We should remind folks that he ran against Andrew Cuomo not that long ago, and we can see some of what he was getting at there, pointing out that defeating Andrew Cuomo was on a lot of people's agenda. Our political director, Bob Hart, is here with us. What do you make of all these numbers?
I mean, you and I talked shortly before 9 o'clock about how Mamdani would have a lead, as I predicted, and that happened, but that it would narrow, and it would get tighter and tighter. Errol, it's barely narrowed. There's a 7.8 point lead that Mamdani has over Cuomo, with about 85% of the expected vote in. He's basically held the lead. It's tightened a tiny bit. This is basically the worst case scenario for the Andrew Cuomo campaign. And it's going to be extremely difficult if these numbers roughly hold. That means no one got 50%, so we have to go to the ranked choice computer in a week. It's going to be extremely, extremely hard for Andrew Cuomo to leapfrog Mamdani as those numbers go down. Brad Lander, who's in third, has basically cross-endorsed Mamdani. That means that Mamdani will probably get more of those Lander votes. That's the biggest source of remaining votes. So this has been a spectacularly successful night for Mamdani, and barring a statistical fluke, he could very well be the Democratic nominee for mayor. This is an amazing story that we're witnessing in live TV.
Indeed, and this is going to be international news if what you just described is the way this night ends.
Holy shit.
Let's go over to Ayanna Harry. She's at the Andrew Cuomo campaign headquarters at the Carpenters Union in the West Village. Ayanna, what is the mood like there?
Harold, the mood here is still pretty optimistic. Folks are, of course, glued to the televisions where New York 1 is on, and they are waiting for these results to come in. But people here also understand that this is a ranked choice voting election, so we will not know the winner tonight. So much of this race has been framed around as a decision for New York City voters between a seasoned, experienced Democrat in Andrew Cuomo or someone who may be younger, has fresher ideas in Zohran Mamdani. And Mamdani has certainly picked up a lot of support from younger voters. And so I did want to bring in Assemblymember Jordan Wright. You are the youngest elected official in Manhattan. You have endorsed and vocally supported Andrew Cuomo. As a young New Yorker, what is it about Cuomo, his message, his campaign that spoke to you as a Harlem
damn.
resident and also as a state assembly member?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this
it's very
lead is
important to me that,
holding
you know,
strong.
as Governor Andrew Cuomo did a lot for Black New Yorkers, people in my district. There was a lot done with LaGuardia Airport. There was a lot done with the Moynihan train station, and the list really goes on. And it's really important to me that, you know, we continue to see that leadership. And, you know, my family has worked closely with the Cuomo family for a very long time, so it really means a lot to me to be able to be here supporting Andrew Cuomo's run for mayor.
As you walk the streets of Harlem, you talk to your constituents, what are the pressing issues that are really driving their votes in this race?
A lot of affordable housing issues. People want somewhere to live. A lot of cost of living issues. People want, you know, be able to make a living wage. These are two things that Andrew Cuomo has definitely committed to doing, building many units of affordable housing, as well as a $20 minimum wage.
Yeah, he spoke about, you know, black voters and the support traditionally for Andrew Cuomo,
Interesting
but
that
we
he's
know
going for
black
something
voters
like
as
a $20
demographic
minimum
is dramatically
wage.
shifting and changing.
That's insane. That's progressive even for pretty far left figures. That's insane.
Speaking to that.
I think Andrew Cuomo is kind of speaking, you know, talking about what he's done. And I think, you know, black voters, their memories are long, and they understand exactly what the deal is, and they know what Andrew Cuomo is going to bring to the table once he's elected mayor.
Jonah Wright, we appreciate you sharing your time. Errol, right now, is we're inside the Carpenters Union Hall waiting for Andrew Cuomo to come in and address the supporters that have been gathering here tonight. And again, people eagerly watching New York One, listening to you, Errol, analyzing these results as they come in, and just staying tuned.
Okay, thanks very much, Ayanna. We're going to send it over to our Courtney Gross. She's in Studio N analyzing tonight's primary election with a panel of experts. Courtney.
Good evening, Errol. As we wait for more information about tonight's results, let's bring in our panel of experts. Democratic consultant Teresa Gonzalez is back with us, along with Stu Lozer.
Still holding massive advantage for Mamdani still.
Press secretary under Mayor
It looks like
Michael
he's got
Bloomberg.
this easy.
So, Stu, I'm going to start with you. Mayor Michael Bloomberg endorsed in this race. He gave $8.3 million to a super PAC called Fix the City that spent more than $20 million to push the candidacy of Andrew Cuomo. I know you're not Mike Bloomberg, but you're very close with him. So how do you think that the former mayor is feeling tonight?
Look, I haven't talked to him tonight. When Mike endorsed former Governor Cuomo, put out a really heartfelt, thoughtful, and frankly great statement. I did not write it. In which he emphasized that no candidate is perfect. And maybe if Andrew Cuomo and his team had gone and agreed that no candidate is perfect more often, more voters would have given him support right now. He's still alive, but as it looks right now, his argument of few and no mistakes were made, the governor's argument that I made no mistakes, did not seem to carry the day.
Nope,
Teresa,
it
do you
did
think
not.
that it's a
Because
fact
it's
that
clear that it's false.
the governor wasn't contrite enough, didn't apologize enough, didn't perhaps talk about why he was driven from office because of the sexual harassment allegations that we're seeing these results tonight, where Zohran Mamdani is clearly in a very good position going into the potential ranked choice voting scenario or computation that will occur on July 1st at noon.
I will say that I think part of what makes Mamdani's campaign so electric is that he has made it a point to connect with people. Right, to be out there, to be visible, to talk about things like, maybe I'm not as experienced, right? But let me tell you what I do care about and what you care about. And I think I would say that one of the challenges that the Cuomo campaign had was getting him out there more.
Okay,
So I
hold
think
up.
it was less about talking about what his faults are, more about kind of being okay with being with people, in front of people, and out there and open about it. But and I think that's really what the part of the magic of Mamdani's campaign has been.
We have some mailers from Fix the City. You know, I mentioned before the super PAC spent an unprecedented amount of money on this race.
Yeah, no, it looks like Mamdani's gonna win. I don't think Cuomo has a chance. This is looking really, really good for Mamdani. I think we likely see a win on July 1st. I don't think it's going to be tonight. I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to see Cuomo. I think we're going to see Cuomo hit about the 38% mark. And then Mamdani, where I really see him winning, is I see Mamdani winning probably, I'd say 10% of Brad Lander's vote, as well as see some other people start to pour into Mamdani as their number 2. I think we will see him win first round of a ranked choice voting on July 1st. I think we're going to see a Mamdani win, though. This looks really good for the future of the Democrats because we actually now have, like, you know, a really solid, easy to, like, quote, like, pattern of, hey, look, progressives can win these massive races. I mean, looking at Mamdani's percentage right now, he's at 43%. He's close to 10% above him. He's about 3% off. He is significantly over the third place candidate. I think that we are seeing a Mamdani win for sure by the end of the night. But yeah, no, I don't want to make this stream forever because we're clearly not getting a result tonight. Like, it's already confirmed. It's gonna go to the counting in the machines, which we'll know for sure on July 1st, 2-1. But yeah, no, this is a good sign for progressives and should be cheered. Not looking to do insanely long coverage.